Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Shai, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Shai, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Shai, Yahweh Bashim Shai, Bashim Kwakadash. Double honors and salutations to elders and apostles of God, Stone rule well, and I came to the four corners of the earth, preaching the gospel for my Yahweh Shai, in sincerity and truth and diligence of mind. Greetings, 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 Brahman DC camp. Yep, so, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, trouble in Babylon, so it's only going to expand further as you already understand. That's by the so-called protest riots that happened at the DC Capitol, and your so-called politicians are calling for prosecution of the so-called miscreants. Yeah, so you have on the screen, it says Homeland Security Committee wants all domestic terrorists who besiege U.S. Capitol placed on FBI no-fly list. So that's the judgment they want. And in addition to other ones. So it only proves that America is on its way out, man. It's just set on a slippery slope. And it's just the beginning. When you had that 9/11, that was a fast track, for everything to be accomplished as by the end of Esau's rulership. So the Lord has already set things in motion. And these politicians are doing a good job, man. They're helping the fathering for, of America's destruction, because they have to cause all type of chaos. They have to fall in line with the plans of the elites. And, when you see the so-called FBI, they can't do nothing about it because they're going along with the plan, they're going along with the plan for America to be turned down. And then you had TSA that was formed after 9/11, and Homeland Security. And there's like two black holes right there, man. Two huge black holes where a lot of, billions of dollars just get sucked up in, So it just proves that America is on its way out, All that freedom and democracy is just what you call crack and cocaine. People are getting hooked on it. that's why they, they're running wild, they're running crazy. All right. So it's just gonna get more spicier as time goes on, because as Lord Yahweh Shai said in the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 49, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it already be kindled? All right. And what will I if it be already kindled? So the drama has to, happen. The uproars of the people has to take place, and it's just, the part of the recipe for that disaster that's on its way, to the streets of Babylon. You already seen how the cops that tried to do their job last couple of days couldn't do it because it was just, a shit show. And, it also tells what you call, orchestrated for it to go that way. Okay. So they could go ahead and pass more legislation to come about. Okay. And then you see, folks being called domestic terrorists. So just imagine, how long it's going to take for them, to go through that process. Yeah, so Esau's upset, he wants that birthright back, so he has to push for certain events to take place. So I'm going to read the article real quick. It says, you say that the chair for the Homeland Security panel or committee, all right, called on the TSA and the FBI to expand a federal no-fly list to include all who took part in unrest. the U.S. Capitol this week, calling the incident a domestic terrorist attack. Yeah, so that's just going to add more fuel to the fire, just like the Lord Yahushua said in Luke 12:49. What will I, if you already be kindled, that fire, that animosity between the so-called politicians and the so-called, people, the populace, is going to get uglier, right? And the politicians don't care. And what they really did was just create a distraction from them not being able to bring the so-called small businesses back on track, and to create more distraction from the C-19 drama that they've not been able to get a hold of. Yeah, so it's all what you call a distraction, a huge distraction to to shift the lens away from their failures. Because if they are so-called doing their job, the country will not be in the shape as it is. And there's no such thing as they're doing their job. They're just part of the problem, and that's what it is. They're just there to make sure America falls, and they're doing a perfect job. Okay, and it says that in the next paragraph, the rep Democrat from Mississippi, Benny Thompson, chairman of the House Committee, said national law enforcement must stop anyone present at the Capitol riot from flying. Afraid to. Yeah, after supporters of President Donald Trump forced their way into the building during a rally on Wednesday, prompting an evacuation of officials and staff. So it was all planned after all. That's exactly what they wanted to do, because they didn't really want a debate to take place. And you could hear more about this on the Last American Vagabond. Just go to his website, or check out his channel on the Beat Shoot website. So it just shows it was all planned, because they didn't really want a debate to take place. So they rather, find an excuse, to go do something behind closed doors and off camera. And that's how these so-called politicians are, man. Just up to no good. All right, that's exactly what the elites pay them to do. Okay, to cause chaos and to mislead the people. All right. So it says, given the heinous domestic terrorist attack at the U.S. Capitol yesterday, all right, it said he is urging TSA and the FBI to use their authorities to add the names of all identified individuals involved in the attack to the federal no-fly list. Can you imagine? Some folk added to those lists before. They don't know how they got on it. They never got a proper explanation. So it just shows you there is no due process, man. And to keep them off planes, in other words, the being classified as hijackers in the same categories. All right. So just imagine, how messed up that is. So that's the plan they've always had in mind, and you won't be surprised as a man of the Lord to put you on the no-fly list also. Then it says that this is an action that the TSA and the FBI, by law, okay, are able to take, but to my knowledge, have not yet been taken. So no trial, nothing, no hearings. All they have is just video evidence, and you know how it is, man. It's always all these what you call all these allegations can be twisted in such a way that whoever's not part of it, can be tagged, and that's the reason why the apostle tells brothers, you shouldn't be going to this so-called protest, man. Because you don't want to be identified as being part of it, because all it takes is just some agent provocateur to change his plans, and all of a sudden, brothers are in a deeper mess. So it says the alleged perpetrators of a domestic terror attack, who have been identified by the FBI, should be held accountable. Yeah, so those folks are going to be held accountable. Other folks are going to hold the politicians accountable. It's a street that goes both ways, and it's basically a highway. All right, so it's only going to get uglier for these politicians. They want to go after the people, so the people are going to go after them too. And the people have so many ways of getting at these politicians, man. And they're not that stupid. They just, watch and pay attention, because it's basically a small world, man. And you don't know who's related to who. And you don't know, where these folks are going to be at any time, So it's hilarious, man. So at the end of the day, man, it's just the Lord, proving that Babylon has to fall apart. And then I get another precept, Isaiah chapter 19, verse 14. All right, let me read that real quick. Isaiah 19 and 14. Actually, it's still a good precept. Isaiah 19 and 14. It tells you that the Lord had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst, thereof, and they have caused Israel to err in every work thereof. As a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. All right, so it's just going to be nothing but madness, in Babylon very soon, okay? And then Proverbs chapter 16 tells you clearly what you got to be cautious about. Proverbs chapter 16, I'm going to read that verse 29. It says, a violent man enticeth his neighbor and leadeth him into the way that is not good. So, and that's exactly how Esau's rulership is, man. He has to deceive people, to go along with his so-called agenda, so he could turn against them and, make them to be what he called them domestic terrorists. And it's just hilarious, man. And then he wants to claim that he was a victim. Yeah, so it's just, bait and switch. Same old trick. All right. And then verse 30 says, he shutteth his eyes to devise froward things, moving his lips, he bringeth evil to pass. And that's exactly what the plans always was, man. Okay, that's exactly what the plan. All right, to get more control, get more power, more authority over the people. And, he's going to stick to the same old playbook. Why? Because the people become gullible and easily manipulated. Okay, easily malleable. Okay, easily controlled. Yeah, because they've drunken that punch. They've drunken that Kool-Aid of democracy and freedom, and they think they are free while they are not. Okay, just an illusion of freedom. All right, so the book of Isaiah chapter 32, verse 7, it says, the instruments also of the troll are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. Yeah, so, these folks don't understand, maybe, they just don't pay attention, the history of the so-called government they're trying to protest against. That they always want to win, and they go to any extreme to make sure that they have their way. So, they're not paying attention, man. They're just all mixed up in their emotion, and then, hey, they get trapped. And they get that knock on the door from the so-called federal agent. When they want to travel, all of a sudden now they've got a situation they can't get on the flight. So that's how ugly it can get. That's what the man of the Lord has been talking about, for a long time. All right, that America is basically on its way out, and these elites, they're so desperate to have their new world order, and they're willing to create all types of distraction so they could get get more steam, get more plans in place. All right. So the book of First Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 3 says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Yeah, so a lot of folks are gonna, fall into that trap, man. You don't want to think everything is nice and smooth and cool, and all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose, and catches them off guard. And the men of the Lord, understand what's coming. Around. In fact, a lot of people on the earth are already preparing for the nonsense that's about to take place. The plans of these elites. All right, that's why there's going to be so much heat, from the people against the government, and then from the government against the people. Total civil breakdown of society. All right, and then book of Second Ezra chapter 15, it tells you that the situation is gonna get worse. So Second Ezra chapter 15, you just can't stop reading that chapter, enough, man. All right. When you start reading from verse 16, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the cause of their actions shall stand in their power." So whatever legislation they want to push forward, whatever recommendations they want to make to the TSA and FBI, it's not really going to achieve, the total effect, because it's going to go out of hand. Right, the Lord's gonna shift that needle of domination, towards the people, and it's gonna be all out chaos, man. Americans against Americans. That's something that is so-called officers on the streets and soldiers have never really have to deal with, on a large scale, and it's gonna be causing so much mental breakdown. People committing suicide, it's like, damn, they can't do it. They're going to be refusing orders from their commanders, commanders getting smoked, for pushing the soldiers, for pushing the officers to go against the American people. They're going to turn against each other. And that's basically a sign of the times, all right? And then it says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." So it's going to be a total lockdown of society. It's going to be a mess, a huge mess. And then 18 says, "For because of their pride the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." Yeah, so when the government messes up people's lives, man, they're so slow to respond, to help them out, and it just shows you they don't really care. And then when you watch those old videos about government raids, the break down people's homes and all that stuff, you just look at the reaction of the officers. There is no care, man. They don't no rational thinking after they've done all that damage. Families hurt. Family member dead, child hurt. The dog is dead, and the house is burning down. And then the mayor tries to cover up, the police chief tries to cover up, so no one is held accountable. The so-called taxpayers have to foot the bill. So that's how messed up, America has become, all right? So it's basically a snake eating its own tail, and that's what you call insanity, So it's just terrible, man. Basically the immune system attacking itself. Yeah, so you can't, you can't really be hope optimistic that America has a bright future, man. All right, you just have to just let it fall. All right, that's the reason why the Lord Yahushua is on his way, and then despite all what the Lord say on the highways and byways, the enemies of Hamashiach Yahushua always want to think that they're in control. and they call the shots, and they make the people do what they want. But that's not the case. This is the Most High's program, and eventually they have to be taken out of the way, because there is no power upon the face of the earth that could stand up to the authority of Mashiach Yahushai. So I'm going to read Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. It says, "And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand." All right, all his trickery and all his technology, to shut down, people's accounts, whether it's a bank account, whether it's your, your so-called credit card account, your shopping account, basically, all the so-called necessity of society, he could, he could block it, and, I call it, he uses propaganda to demonize people, all right, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the Prince of Princes. All right, we're going to stand up against Yahushai, thinking he can destroy the Lord when the Lord appears in the heavens. But he shall be destroyed, all right? But he shall be broken without hand. So there's nothing Esau can really do to change his destiny, man. The Lord Yahushai, Bashim and Kwakadash, basically going to pull the plugs on Esau's rulership very soon. So, it's just the beginning of sorrows. Yeah, so I don't want to make this video too long. I know it's gone long enough, but so much should be said. Just gotta keep it short and brief. Yeah, because it's gonna get ugly in Babylon very soon. So whatever they're doing now, it's just gonna add more fuel to the fire. It's gonna fan the flames. All right, and that's exactly what these elites are trying to do. They want to have a total control society, total control people's movements. All right, so and when they start branding more people as domestic terrorists, oh man, families won't be able to, meet up like they need to. So that's going to create more stress and agitation, and folks are going to lash out. Because people can only live in isolation for that long. And, playing with people's families and emotions, that's a recipe for disaster. All right. So, just say, Kahala, Yahaba, Shema, Shaba, Shema, Kwakadash, and double honors to the elders, Apostle Grimstone, rule well. And I can try to focus on the earth. Yeah. So, we're in bitter times, man. This is the year 2021. All right, hastening unto the coming of the day of the Lord, and it's gonna get ugly, man. So don't get comfortable. Just prepare for the bitterness that's about to come. Shalom.